All right, YouTube, here we go again. Let's see how our sound is. We'll do a sound check. All right, hopefully this is going to start. There it is. Let's see how my sound is. All right.
Make fries that are worthy of the name Baconator. Start with thick applewood smoked bacon. Add cheddar and creamy cheese sauce.
Gotta love the commercials. All right, let's check the sound. All right, let's check the sound. Sounds good. Hello, Jen. How you doing? Yes, you finally caught the show live. It's funny. We'll get started here in a minute, guys. Letting the room fill up a little bit. Our daily ritual. 3 people on. Let me know if you have any sound issues. I can always fix. Kind of know how to fix it now for the most part. How is everybody doing? Thursday, August 11th. Hopefully you're doing great. Adjust my camera, adjust my mic. And make sure I've got my screen up. I do. So how is everyone's business today? Did you have a good day yesterday? Lots of sales, get lots of listings done, lots of things sent in Amazon, whatever your poison is that you care to do. Hopefully it was good. Let us know in the chat. Let us know how it's going and what your plans are for the weekend, which is upon us, right? A couple more days, we'll be here, and we will be ending one week and starting another, right? So it's always kind of a good time to reflect, I think, when you get to the end of the week, whatever you consider the end of the week to be. I consider it to be Saturday is the final day of my week, basically. Maybe it might be different for you. Got 5 people watching already, so the room's starting to fill a little bit earlier than it was yesterday, but you know, this is the time that kind of worked for me. So you just never know when I'm going to come on live. Just never know. I don't know either. I just get in the day and it just happens. So hopefully we'll get a decent crowd, a decent turnout like we had yesterday. A lot of people were on yesterday. We had about 40 some at one point, which is pretty nuts for the middle of the day, I think. But people like these middle of the day shows, I guess, give them something to do while they're working, something to listen to, and gives me a moment to collect my thoughts and sort of redirect my day into what I'm going to be doing for the back half. It's past lunchtime. We've all gotten something to eat, hopefully, at least on the East Coast. And now it's nap time, right? Maybe not nap time. Maybe not. Maybe not a good idea, but it doesn't sound like too bad of an idea, right? So a few things I will definitely share with you guys today, and we will get to numbers in a little bit. Might make this show a little bit shorter today just because I got lots of stuff going on today as normal, but just want to make sure I get it all done. I don't want to take anything away from my business, obviously, and you shouldn't either. So hopefully these shows are helpful, and if they're a distraction to you, then go get back to work. Darren says 5 watchers. Yeah, Darren, whatever. Well, it's up to 6 now. Come on. Actually, we had 45 yesterday, which was crazy. So you never know. But a little different time right now. You never know what time zones everybody's watching in, what their schedules are. There's just no rhyme or reason to it. So usually this show builds, and usually by the end is when it's the biggest. I don't know why. Just does that. Darren Heckelman. That's right. The heckler. All right, so a couple things I was going to share with you guys before we get into the numbers, which I will get to. One is website issues. I actually fired my web developer today. Well, I don't know if fired is probably not the right word. I just decided not to go through with his services, and it was nothing against him. He was awesome. It's just that I think I can get and did get the WordPress theme installed correctly, and now I just got to go in and tweak and set up and get some things changed. And it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, but I'm actually kind of excited to do it. You know, and if I run into things I can't get done, I will go back and rehire him because he was awesome. But I guess the lesson is there is, you know, do what you can do on your business yourself, as long as it's not taking away too much time and energy from your core business. So that's what I'm going to do. So the website is progressing. I'm starting to get the links put in, social media links, getting the blog part set up. Just got to get the pages configured correctly, and it's going to take a little bit, but it's going to launch and then it's going to evolve, right? It's not going to stay the same. So I'm happy about it. My decision to go forward even without him. So is Lauren helping out? Good. I think you mean Karen. But yes, of course she is. She is taking lots of pictures for me. She, you know, is just such an emotional help, if nothing else. I mean, she keeps me grounded when I'm flying off in too many different directions. She bought me a new friend. Today is actually my birthday, everyone. But she bought me a new friend for my birthday. I don't have a name for this one yet, but my bird is the buzzard. So this is a big turkey vulture, which if you live in the South, you know all about turkey vultures. I got to give this one a name. This little guy is named Earl, but this one needs a name. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, so pretty cool. Thanks for the birthday wishes. Appreciate it. And as always, you know, I'm actually going backwards now on birthdays. I'm no longer going forward. I've decided to go backwards now so I can get back into like maybe my 20s or something, and I'll probably just stop there. That's kind of my plan. Hopefully that'll work. Seems like it might. So what else? All right. The other thing I was going to tell you was that I did a little work on kind of what my warehouse requirements will be. I've started kind of looking at that and thinking about square footage and what I'm going to need for room, because it's not going to be that long. Probably somewhere by the end of this year, this calendar year, I'm going to need to really seriously think about having a separate space if I keep going and keep progressing with listings and size and so on. So, you know, I wanted to figure out how much space it would take for me to house a jean business of the size we're talking about here, a 5,000 pair of jeans. So what I did is, you can see those black shelves over there, my infamous black shelves. I measured how big they are. Actually, I knew how big they were, but I also measured how much space you needed around them. And found out that I basically need 32.5 square feet around, and that includes the shelf around each one. That's just to be able to get around it. Basically 6 feet by 6.5 feet is plenty. So for each of those that I have, I need 32.5 square feet. I need 28 of those to store 5,000 jeans. That's basically 180 jeans per unit. So 28 of those would take up around, actually I made it maybe just a little bit lower, but let me make sure my math is still right here. 32.5 times 28. 8 of those racks would basically take up 910 square feet. So the jeans themselves, guys, will take up 910 square feet of storage space. That does not include room for processing, listing, photography area, storage of supplies, anything like that. So I figure I probably need somewhere around a 1,200 square foot space to house and manage this business once it's up to 5,000 units. So that kind of gives me an idea now about what I can look at and what I will need to make that happen. The warehouse that I have access to is probably not big enough for that. It would take up too much of the room there. I need to find basically a 1,200 square foot space, maybe a little bit smaller. I could make it work, but not much. Maybe 1,150, 1,125, somewhere in there. So I've started looking locally at what that would look like in terms of availability and cost. And quite honestly, there's not a lot of spaces that are around that range. They tend to be a little bit bigger than that or much smaller, like just a single office. So to find a 1,200 square foot space near me, I found one, believe it or not, that could be as low as about $680 a month. Is that good? I think that's pretty cheap. You know, I don't think you could do storage units that small. Somebody's saying, you know, they got a 20 by 10 and so on. Yeah, I mean, but a 20 by 10 is going to cost you some money. I mean, and you're going to need a bunch of them. It's not going to be very convenient because you're going to need to go from one to the next to the next to the next. It's not like you're going to have them all in one space where you can conveniently go between them. You're going to have to keep them locked and then unlock. I mean, it would be a pain in the butt to have this business just in storage units. I don't know how I would really do it. But a small warehouse in this area can be had for probably somewhere around $700 a month for the size I'm looking at. Darren says maybe you could sublease from someone that's not using extra space. That's a great idea, Darren. I hadn't really thought too much about that, but that's actually a great idea. And that might even actually be cheaper. That is definitely something I can look into if I could find the right space. But, you know, kind of thinking about like if you're going to ever expand your business out, you got to think about, well, what kind of spaces am I going to need? And sometimes it can stay in your home. But I really can't afford to take 1,200 square feet of this house that we live in and devote it to this business. That would take up a huge percentage of the house. And, you know, you got to live here. So it's clear that as this evolves and keeps going, I'm going to need somewhere else to run this business. I could take the entire garage, which I think the garage is maybe it's maybe like 400, way short of what I need. Even that and the room upstairs is 500. Even that and the room upstairs and or the bigger bedroom is maybe 600. There's just not enough space in this house. So I got to think about, I don't need to do it right now, gang, so don't get me wrong, but I've got to think about as this progresses and the listings start growing, at some point, well, you think about it, you know, 5,000 jeans would take up space. 2,500 is going to take up about 450 square feet plus another 200 to 300 for processing. So that's going to take up 600, 650 square feet for half of that number. So even when I get to half of that number, I'm going to need a decent sized space. I could probably still fit 2,500 here in this house, but it'll definitely have to make some sacrifices like giving up the bigger bedroom upstairs and moving into the smaller bedroom, which Karin and I have talked about doing, and we might do. But it's not going to come without its trade-offs, guys. So I've got that all in the back of my mind. I don't need to figure it out tomorrow, but I do have in the back of my mind that probably within the next, you know, 4 or 6 months, maybe the beginning of the year-ish, I'm going to have to really think about that space. Darren, thanks for the sublet idea. That's a great idea. That's a way I could get it cheaper. And space that might work perfectly and maybe even could grow into if I found the right opportunity. So I appreciate that. But anyway, that's approximately what I think 5,000 pair of jeans will take in terms of space. You know, Darren says, I will look at different size shelves with and maybe the amount of shelves each has. Yeah, I've done that, Darren. And I'm actually maximizing these shelves to put 180 on each one. I don't think I can really get any more than that on one, honestly. I don't think I can get a cheaper shelving option than that, honestly, unless I find them like basically free. I mean, at $40 a shelf, $40 to hold 180 pair of jeans. I mean, that's pretty cheap. So I don't know that that's going to happen, that I'm going to get any cheaper than that or any better option than that. Metal shelves would be more sturdy, but Darren says I fit 6 shelves in my 10 by 10 by 8 unit in a U shape. Works good. Yeah. The problem here, Darren, is you cannot, if you put jeans like 1 row deep, you have to use a whole wall. And that takes all your wall space. So my idea is to turn them perpendicular to the wall. That way I can walk in between them and I can use both sides of the shelving units with jeans in front and back. So instead of getting 10 in a bin space, I can get 12. 2 stacks of 6 each, the way I'm going to be stacking them. And I think that's going to be the best way. I mean, there might be a better way, guys, and I'm all ears for it, but I don't know. I don't think that's that bad to hold that much inventory, 5,000 items, something the size of jeans in 910 square feet plus 250, 300 for processing. I don't think that's bad. I don't even know if I need quite that much for processing. I could probably get by with like this little room I'm in. You guys can't see it. It's about 100 square feet. It's 10 by 10. And if I didn't have those jeans stored in here, I could set up another, and this room is not configured well for processing anything, honestly. It just happens to be the way this room's set up. There's a big open wall to my left, big open area. There's a cutout to the kitchen right there. So you got a lot of wasted wall space, and there's a big window right here too. But I could set up another photography station, a listing station in this area probably. I don't know where I'd put supplies very easily. Although I could throw in another shelf and store supplies on shelves and take them up vertical and probably save a little room. But yeah, I could put, even a 10 by 10, 100 square foot area. It's probably big enough to put 2 photography areas, which is something I definitely want to have, and at least 1 listing area, if not 2 listing areas. Maybe my desk. I don't know. I'll have to think about how I'm going to set that up. But that's down the road. But that's what I'm doing, guys. That's what I focused on that yesterday. I worked on that for about 30, 45 minutes, really all it took. Just kind of wanted to have an idea. So, that's basically where I'm at with that. It's, like I said, it's down the road. All right, so let's go see numbers from yesterday. Hang on just one second, everybody. All right, everyone. So here is yesterday, which was August 10th. Let me know if you can still hear me okay. Sometimes when I switch these screens like this, it gets real wonky. Yeah, I went mute, Darren, because I had to, because someone was coming in. I didn't want you guys to hear all the conversation. All right, so yesterday was only 2 sold. Kind of interesting, feast or famine, right? 8 the day before, 2 yesterday. Go figure. Bought 19, spent 107, which is a pretty good amount. That's actually cheaper than my normal amount. And photos yesterday, we got 10 done. Carring got done last night, which is great. It was 21, so that was actually ahead of my goal. Normally I'd want to do the day before plus 12, which would have been 20, which I got 21, which is great. And oops, I don't know why that just popped up. Sorry. And let's see, not a lot of net yesterday, probably only about $17. And the net per jean was kind of a little bit low too at $8.74. Per store yesterday, I got 6.33, which is a little bit lower than normal. But part of that was because I only got 1 at 1 store at Nordstrom. So that kind of skewed the numbers down a bit. So that takes our total to, we're at 599 listings, which is really good, almost that 600 mark. I'll be over that today. And in just jeans. 2034 gross, sold 89. Haven't quite hit 30 days yet. 160 photos, 169 listings. So I'm ahead of my photos. That's great. Let's see what else. Net of about 789. Net per jean 887. And sell-through is about 0.7. So still not at that 1% yet, but we shall see. Sell to list is good, 52.6. That's dropping. Got to get that down. Got to get that down and keep that going down. So today, I sold 2 yesterday. So my goal today is to list 14. So 12 plus 2 to kind of keep me on track. And that'll put me well up over 600. And we'll just go from there. So we've hit the $2,000 gross mark already this month. We're not a month in yet. We still got about 8 or 9 days for a 30-day period here. And so it might even hit 3,000. We'll just kind of see how it goes. But that's where I'm at with that. And do the graphs if I can show you. Yeah, so. All right, so I'm going to try to show you the graphs real quick. So you can see the listings up is 599, and the sell-through probably a slight upward slope on this, maybe not crazy the sell-through percentage, but it looks like it's kind of moving up just a little bit, I would guess, but not much. Fairly flat. We shall see. But the listings are good. 21, it's good. All right, so that's kind of it. All right, so you know, a slow day yesterday. That is what it is. You're gonna have those. Went from 8 the day before to 2 yesterday. I don't know. I mean, it just is what it is, right? It's still hot outside. Most of the country is really, really warm. People are just maybe starting to think about jeans and fall, but definitely not any big push yet. So probably got another couple weeks or so before that happens. Darren says, I like your Excel setup. You should definitely do a video on how you set that up. It's pretty easy, Darren, but I love Excel, and I've always had, you know, I always like a challenge how to figure things out and how to use the formulas and setting up things. And I don't know, just kind of a little side note, something I really like doing, but it's not that hard to set any of that up. Definitely not. Excel's got so much you can do with it. I mean, it is crazy all the things you can do with Excel, actually. It's incredibly powerful application, no doubt about it. But I've definitely learned over the years, and my buddy Eric is good at helping out with it too. If I don't know how to do something, he's got a pretty good brain to wrap around that and say, oh, you could do it this way. Guys, well, listen, that's probably going to do it for today. I really don't have too much else to share with you right at the moment. And I've got to get back to listing, which hopefully you guys have got to get back to work. What does Darren say? I was doing research and I always see those computer power cords. They seem to sell well on eBay. What do you think? Computer power cords? Are you talking about something in particular? I'm not sure what you're getting at, Darren. Something we've talked about before. It's not really ringing a bell. Computer power cords. Help me out here. Oh, which ones you're talking about? I mean, if you're seeing a good sell-through, sure. I mean, it's just like anything else, right? There's always people searching for new power cords. OEM, the original ones do sell. Yeah, that makes sense, Ken. I mean, but you can find power cords pretty cheaply. So you'd really have to be getting them for a cheap cost. Depends on what they are, but you know, like anything else. But if they're just sort of generic, like say they're the power cords for hard drives, for instance, your towers and so on, those are pretty cheap. I mean, you'd have to get them really cheap, which you can sometimes, but I don't know. Sometimes you could probably even get them free. People are throwing out computers and so on. Just part them out. That's a good strategy. Part them out. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, listen, that's going to do it. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button down below. I appreciate it, and so does YouTube. And leave me a comment. Of course, I will try to answer you guys, try to answer everybody best I can. And, you know, tomorrow will be another day. Hopefully we'll see how, I've already sold a couple today, so I've already matched yesterday's total today. So we'll see how that goes the rest of the day. And, you know, I'm just trucking right along. I'm going to go get some listings done and some other stuff in the business and so on. And, you know, just doing my thing. Hopefully you are too. You know, keep persevering. That's the difference between the people who succeed and don't. The ones who persevere and just keep going. So keep going out there, keep listing, keep sourcing, keep researching, keep working your business, and you know, you guys are going to get great results. All right, so that's going to do it for me, gang. And as always, it's Prof Sales saying good sales to you.